Welcome Libra, this is your June 1st to June 7th forecast. So the most influential transit for you is going to be Venus at its greatest elongation, and that's going to happen on June 1st. And it's going to highlight your love and relationships. So Venus's brilliance highlights your natural charm and who you naturally are, Libra. So it's a favorable time to attract new relationships or to strengthen existing ones. So we have the Five of Pentacles here. Okay, so we do see that you are experiencing a little bit of contrast as it comes to that. And you may also have a little bit of resistance toward meeting someone new or connecting with a new life partner if you're not in a relationship. But if you are in a relationship, then there may just be a little bit of contrast or challenges that you are working through this week with your partner. We do have the Eight of Wands, so you may receive some sort of communication that kind of sparks things off or ignites this need to have some discussions here and to look at circumstances and situations and kind of talk through that. There also could be this opportunity here for you to really refine what it is that you want to focus on. So you may have sort of like, a couple different issues here that you really want to address, but you're being guided to really focus on what is absolutely most important to you. And it's not that you're not going to address those other issues. It's more about your energy and that being best placed on one or two areas, like really refining the focus and giving it your all. Okay. We also have the Eight of Swords here as well. So there could be some truths that you are also coming into. So just like you may have some things you want to work on or work through with your partner may also bring some things to you as well. So we do have that communication coming through here. So it could be a part of that. So you both have areas where you're feeling a little bit of discontent and you're wondering if there's adjustments or changes that you're both willing to do and work on together to resolve some of the conflict. So you may also need to, with whatever communication that you're hearing, I'm gonna say this as softly as I can, but you may also need to realize that there are adjustments or changes that you can do to make things better for you and your partner here. Okay, so just be open to that and be honest about that, because they're not going to tell you anything you don't already know here. Now, there could be new information that comes to light here, so there's that. But just as we're speaking of just the things between you and your partner that you do want to work on, like, yeah, the things that they may bring up here, you're going to be like, oh, okay, I already know that. I already know that. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I'm talking about here. But like I said, there definitely could be some new stuff coming to light here. So we have you finding that strength, because you're going to need it to work through these things and to persevere this week. So what else do we have? Okay, so we have anticipation. So that is wonderful, because that to me is meaning more excitement and an openness to resolve issues, to get back on the same accord, to work through and resolve things that come up, so that you are putting each other in a better position to be successful together and separately. Okay, so I feel like this can be, if you reframe this, something good that comes through, that you have that desire to work through things, you have that desire to strengthen your bonds, you have that desire to do more and experience more together as well as separately. So okay, so let's move to challenges. So we have the Three of Swords. Okay, so there could quite clearly be some heartache, some pain, some separation that comes up here this week with new knowledge coming to light, or with communication that was coming anyway. So there could definitely be some heartache and pain here. But this is also healing here as well. Okay, so there is that opportunity there. So understandable that you will take the time that you need to process your hurt, to process your pain, and no one's trying to like shift you out of that. But the sooner you're able to come to terms with that, when you're ready to move on, there's healing available to you. Okay, so we also have the King of Swords here as well. So this is about like honesty and in a sense like ripping the band-aid off, like just saying like, look, let's just be honest here. What the fuck is going on, or what is it that, you know, I'm not doing, or look, I need these things. Like, yeah, this is about just being open and honest about things. And I would say to do that in the most constructive way that you can, because these are areas that create a lot of emotion, essentially. Okay, so there are areas that are near and dear to your heart, to your partner's heart. So there's likely to be some emotion here, some underlying emotion here, and some truths that are coming out. So you may also want to take a little bit more of an analytical approach to things here. So we talked about like having constructive communication and trying to be as objective as possible. And you may even want to separate yourself from the situation, just to view it as an observer and as like a third party, and then viewing it from that perspective and being a little more objective in that way, if you're able to do that. So that'll help you to see some different perspectives and to see different sides of the situation, so that you can be a little more analytical, you can be a little more objective and not as emotional in your thought process or the way that you're resolving the issue. So we also have the Six of Cups here as well. So there may be soul family that can assist you at this time, and you may be a little resistant to that, because I'm hearing for some of you, it's like the way that they support you, like, you know, they're there for you, you know, they're in your corner, but they're just a little too honest. They just got a little too much to say. When it's like, you know, I know these things already. You don't have to tell me, you know, I know, but you're going to just say it anyway. So I don't need to hear that right now. You know what I mean? So it could be like individuals like that around, and just share the information that you're comfortable with sharing. And if there's other individuals that you feel you may get a little bit of a softer approach in communication, because that's what you can handle at this point in time as you're dealing with your emotions and things that are happening, then do that. So whoever that soul family is that you can connect with, that you feel comfortable with communicating with, you're being guided to connect with them. So there could also be some inner child healing here that's necessary, that may surface. So some of the things that are brought up here may kind of spark something internally here, where like you need to check on your inner child. You need to connect with them. You need to see how they're doing. You need to make sure that they're safe. Give them whatever they need, whether it's protection, unconditional love, a chance to be free and play and be creative here. So maybe it's about you taking time out and stepping away and separating yourself and doing whatever self-practice is that makes you feel fulfilled, that makes you feel joy, that makes you feel blissful or relaxed and replenished, and that you're filling up your cup. So whatever that is, you're being guided to do that. Okay, and there's also some gifts and talents and skills that you do have, and it could be related to resolving these issues, or it could be a way to allow yourself to see what else is out there and see what else you can put your energy into as you are going through your healing phase. Okay, so there's a lot of different things that you can do with those self-care practices and with those gifts and talents. Okay, so we also have the Two of Cups here as well. So you may just be feeling, for some of you, that a little overwhelmed here with everything that's going on, with the information that you receive, and you may just not be feeling like you and your partner are on the same accord. And if this isn't about a relationship with a partner, then you may be feeling a little unaligned with your authentic self. Okay. What else? Let's get one more here. Okay, so we do have the Devil coming up here. So yeah, there might quite literally be some temptation here that's going on. And that's what we said. The truths are coming out here. They're coming out in full force. So there may be some vices, some extracurricular activities going on here, or just that temptation. that's out there that is impacting your relationship. And it could also be like some vices that you may have. If this isn't about a relationship, there could be some vices that you may have that are impacting your ability to love yourself or to increase that love for yourself here. So what do we have here by way of oracles? We have you being careful about who and what you surround yourself with. I love this message because we are talking about soul family here as well as relationships. So whoever needs to hear this message, it's for you. And no one can tell you who to remove out of your life, but just know that it will happen by divine guidance and divine intervention. If that's not for you, if they're not for you, it will happen anyway. Okay. All right, so let's move to underlying fears here. So we have the Queen of Pentacles here. So some of you may have an underlying fear about finances and how things are going to work out here, what this new version of reality is going to look like for you after you have kind of worked through some things. Some of you may have that underlying fear, and it could also be that you don't want to lose your finances in some way. You don't want to just like shake things up in a way that kind of creates a need for you to need to find like new sources of income and stuff is what I'm trying to say here. So that definitely the finances may be an underlying issue. It could also be one that requires like this discussion that you need to kind of work on and address and resolve here. Okay. We also have the Tower here. So yeah, you might quite literally just be afraid of the transformation, afraid of the change, afraid of losing someone or something out of your life. And know and trust that as a part of this is divine intervention coming through. As we said that it would. If it's necessary, it absolutely will, to align you more with who you authentically are and your true purpose. So nothing here that you're losing is something that you absolutely need. You're losing it because you don't need it anymore. It's not valuable to you. It's not providing you with any benefit. Okay. We also have the Eight of Pentacles here. So you may also have a little bit of fear about, like, are you going down the right path of working through these things? Or should you just kind of go in the direction of where you're like separating yourself and like, okay, I'm just going to focus on me and myself at this time. So you may just have that little bit of uncertainty about the choices that you're making here. Okay. What else? We're going to get you some guidance and messages, but we're just looking to see what the fears are. We also have this Nine of Swords here. Just fear of you surrendering and letting go. Okay, so yeah, there's definitely some burdens here that you're being guided to let go of. And you may also feel as a result of this, if there is a separation here, if there is heartache that you're recovering from, you may have that fear of like, okay, how can I do this? What does this new version of me look like? What does it look like? Am I able to work through my pain? Am I able to heal? Am I able to be whole and complete again? So those may be some fears that you have here. So let's see, let's move to potential outcomes here. So we have the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so we definitely do have you healing here. No matter what's happening, you're continuing your healing, growth, and journey. And you finding ways to utilize your time. And that being part of the process to help you heal. And I feel like I mentioned that earlier, and it may not have been to you, Libra, but there's definitely you healing yourself, working through things with your partner, however this is going to go, whatever you decide. That process is helping you to grow, to learn, to expand your consciousness, to explore these other areas of where you can be financially free and feel fulfilled as well. So whatever you working on the inside and improving that and expanding that is going to trickle out to the outside, to your external world. Okay? So what else? But I do see that as a result of this Three of Pentacles, there's definitely some inspired action here, some effort, some work that is involved as a part of this process. So whatever's decided here, this is the beginning of that journey. And we have that here with the Fool as confirmation. Like, this is a new chapter that's opening here. This is a new journey you're going on. And it's filled with blessings and joy and fulfillment here. And that is if you desire that. Okay, but it is here. It's right here. These flowers, white flowers, typically denote blessings. We have the sun with happiness, joy, fulfillment, content, success. Okay, so all that energy is here as an outcome, if that is what you desire. Okay, so we have the Chariot here, as well as you being divinely guided and allowing yourself to be divinely guided. So that means that if you're allowing yourself to be divinely guided, there may be a different path for you. There may be individuals you need to cut out. Okay, so if you're open to that, if you're willing to allow that to happen, it is here. We also have the Star with hope and faith, good luck, success. All of it is here. And you deciding what path you want to go down, because this could be a lot of juggling of options, a lot of, areas that you can go in. And again, just like a lot of paths that you can go down here. So we do see that here. But you will decide what is right for you, and you keep the hope, you keep the faith, you keep dreaming, and allow yourself to be guided along your journey, because you can never steer yourself wrong. All right, what else? So we have taking a time out, getting some time alone, being in solitude. So that's absolutely going to be helpful to your healing journey and process. And if these are things that you do and are able to work through with your partner, you can still take time. You can still take time to replenish yourself, to refill your cup. So that's what you're being guided to do, regardless of what's happening. Okay, what else? So we have strength. Strength is showing up here twice, so this is definitely a message for you. So any challenge that you're going through, and that's what we're talking about here, is going to make you stronger, and you will get to the other side, and you're being advised to really look for the gifts in the situation. Look for the blessings. Reframe your circumstances. And we understand there's this processing that's happening here. So we're not just saying like, oh, you separated, now be happy. No, that's not what we're saying here. We're saying that, okay, as a part of this process, as a part of your heartache and pain, you're processing your feelings, you're allowing yourself to feel them, but then you're also not getting stuck in that energy. You're allowing those moments to come in where you're helping yourself to feel better and better and better and better, so that you're becoming more and more aligned with your authentic past, to where you are filling those gaps of pain and heartache with fresh new energy. Okay. All right, so what else? Where are we going? Let's go here. So we have intention. Okay. And this is about your direction that you're going in, and understanding that life is okay. So this message here, I was just reading it, and what I get from this message is really you and your desires, and you focusing on your dreams and your desires here, and trusting what they are, knowing what they are, understanding what they are, and releasing that to the universe. And that's also a part of this journey, because I see that some of you may be in this separation that may come up, that may happen, and you really trying to force the universe to control that outcome and control that person and try to bring that together, and that's what you desire and that's what you want. But is that really what you desire? Do you desire that particular person, or do you desire the feeling of being in a loving, committed, happy, healthy relationship. Okay, so that's what, when I'm talking about and promoting like honesty, that's what I mean by that. Getting beyond the surface, going down and understanding truly what it is you're desiring. Okay, so that's where we have this intention coming out. So that is the intention you put out into the universe, what your true, honest desires are. What else? So we have hope, love, and acceptance, knowing love is yours and recognizing your divine worth and choosing loving thoughts. That's what we just said. That is what we just said here as far as your dreams and desires, and that being the honest truth about what you want and providing that to the universe, because the world is your oyster here. You have no limits here. And if you desire love and happiness and joy and fulfillment, the universe has no other choice but to provide that to you. However, the way that you receive that is going to depend on the energy that you're putting out and where you are, where you're vibrating, what your frequency is at the time. Okay? So we also have conclusions are within reach. So you know the potential outcome that can be. You know that you're working toward this space of healing, this space of fulfillment, this space of joy and bliss and contentment. Okay? So trust in that. Have hope in that. Keep the faith in that. Believe in that. Okay, Libra? So those are the messages I have for you for this week. I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care.